We're creating valuable content that's going to be applicable to everybody, no matter where they are in the cycle of homeownership.
Hello, agentpreneurs, and welcome back to the Daily List Report. As you saw, we've got Stefanie Lugo back on the show. We're talking about Instagram. Specifically, we're talking about Reels today. It's a really interesting way to communicate with your sphere of influence out there in the Instagram world. Stefanie was on the show previously. We talked about sort of your brand and building your brand, and specifically the why of your brand. Really great episode, a really great conversation, and it is really a precursor to this stuff, right? So don't be making reels if you haven't watched the previous episode and understood why you're doing what you're doing and what the foundation of your brand is. Of course, while you're here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Click that little bell so you're notified of all future episodes and all of these amazing top agents from across the country who are sharing their experience, their time, etc. And give me a follow on Instagram if you want access to some of the clips and the best bits from this information. All right. Stefanie's coming back on in just a second. All of her links are below. She's a super active Instagrammer. She's a super active YouTuber. Great following. We're going to talk about these reels that you see on screen right now. So I encourage you to click and go over there and watch what she's doing with the reels. And we're going to talk about how you can integrate these reels into what you're doing with social media. All right, that's enough intros. Without further ado, Stefanie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me back. I'm super excited to get into the next leg of our conversation.
I am. All right, so Stefanie, real quick, what did we talk about before? What precedes even thinking about doing a reel?
So I think we kind of discussed the theory of how our brand is going to translate into our greater marketing strategies, specifically on social media, right? And I think that that is one thing that keeps a lot of real estate agents from kind of towing into live video on social media particularly. And so definitely listen to that. We broke down why we're doing it, but now we want to take that theory into practice. So Randy, I'm kind of excited to talk about some really tactical ways that we can integrate this into short form video or reels on Instagram.
I am too. I'm really excited about this. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to play a couple of your reels just so that everybody gets a sense for what a reel is and how you're utilizing them.
If you're looking to buy a home and you keep running into multiple offer situations, this one's for you. Number one, be flexible. This is not the time to be super strict on your wish list. Be open to different areas or different types of homes or different condition. Number two, get creative with your real estate agent. Maybe you need a higher earnest deposit. Maybe you need better terms that you're offering. Get creative here. Your agent should know some great ways to stand out. And finally, remember, you might not get it, but don't worry, there will always be another house. If you're looking to buy a home and you keep running into multiple offer situations, here are 3 decisions you need to make before you decide to sell your home. First, where you're going to go. If you have to sell your home before you buy another one, that's going to impact your next decisions. Second, what do you want to net? Not how much is the home worth. How much do you need from the proceeds of the sale after paying off loans and fees and anything else? And finally, look around. How can you improve your home to sell quickly with as little friction as possible? Remember, you don't have to go it alone. A great agent can help you, but hire wisely.
Stefanie, the reels are fantastic. It's great. And there's really a myriad of content there. So let's firmly establish, now that we've shown it, what is a reel and how did you get started? How do you get the content ideas? Let's get through some of those pieces.
Okay, I kind of want to start by saying reels were not created to terrorize real estate agents. Okay? These are a really great opportunity for a low time and effort investment video format that has the ability to really get you in front of brand new people. So Reels, if you don't know, they were kind of introduced by Instagram in August, and basically it's their response to another big platform, which I won't mention. And
Yes.
what happened is consumer behavior changed, consumption changed, and people want these really engaging, fun, motivational, inspirational, or just entertaining videos. And Instagram really had no choice but to integrate that into their platform. They're really great at swiping and adapting. And if you want a great example of this, it's stories, right?
Yes.
So I'm just going to take a little step back so that you understand why Reels. Stories are, before this happened, were the most popularly consumed form of content on the app. And stories were created because of Snapchat. So Snapchat was just driving a lot of attention away, and Instagram was like, we can do that too. And now stories are absolutely one of the most important facets of the platform. So now comes Reels, right? And what's unique about Reels is, and what differentiates this from stories, because a lot of people are going to ask, Reels right now, as of this recording, they are either 15 seconds or 30 seconds long or anywhere in between. You can choose that timestamp when you're creating a reel. It differentiates from stories because typically people are only going to see stories if they're going to see your stories. And in this case, they probably already follow you, or they sought out your profile and looked at your stories as long as you have a public account, which, pro tip, do not have a private account. If you have a private account and you're a real estate agent, that's like locking the door to your open house. That aside, Reels are a little different, where they are getting blasted out to new audiences regardless of whether or not they follow you. And so this is an amazing opportunity to expand your reach in ways that weren't previously accessible. And that's why Reels is so important. If you're looking to grow your audience and get in front of more buyers and sellers in your area, you have to be doing Reels.
So Stefanie, that makes a lot of sense. You know, one of the things that occurs to me, I'm curious to get your quick take on this, is that early adopters are often rewarded. And so I think the reason that you can get so much reach with your Reels is it's a relatively new feature, right? And they want to drive adoption of that content. And so they're rewarding early creators with doing that. Is that accurate?
100%. And so if you've been feeling down about your ability to expand your reach or get more followers, like, this is your golden ticket. You always want to be the first, even if it's a little silly, even if it doesn't work out. The skills, at the very least, that you learn creating Reels are going to be skills that you can apply to other formats of content that evolve over time too. So it's a win-win situation.
Absolutely. And what I want everybody to understand who's watching, you know, those that are maybe not as in tune or connected to what's happening in social, is that this is content, right? Mm-hmm. There are hundreds of millions of people who, instead of maybe in the past sitting down and watching a 30-minute show, will sit down and play their stories for 30 minutes, or sit down and watch Reels for hours, actually, literally hours for some people, right? Like, this is content. This is replaced television. This has replaced other things in their life. So you get to be a part of that. So if it works for you to reframe this, think of yourself as like Friends or Seinfeld or Cheers or whatever show resonates with you. I love all those shows, by the way, right? That's what you get to be, right? You get to be in primetime must-see TV with your audiences, utilizing these things.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's a great way to put it.
So, okay, Stefanie, so we've established what a reel is. It's a video format. It's relatively new. You're going to get some boost and some promotion, which is really cool. What the heck do you do in a reel? Like, where do you start? What's the content?
So I think that a lot of people relate reels to like these really funny, quirky, dancey skits where you have to like act all crazy and like do this crazy dance and stuff.
I'm guilty, by the way, of that. Not doing that, but thinking that that's what they are.
Totally. And those tend to go viral for sure. But I think that just like the other content that we're creating on social media, on Instagram specifically, we just want it to be entertaining, right? That's just it. And entertaining can come in a lot of forms. It can be educational, it can be motivational or inspirational. It can just be something kind of funny, right? So it can be a myriad of different moments in your life that you just want to kind of broadcast on Reels. So if you break it down, number one is the viral trend. And again, I'm not talking about dancey skits here. There's a lot of different components to reels that go viral. Sometimes it's just a song. So sometimes there's a song that just really touches a lot of people, and you'll see a lot of different kinds of reels using the same song. And that is something that you could always incorporate into a reel, and that is going to tell Instagram, oh, hey, this person is using that song that everybody likes to hear. Let's expand the reach since that's going viral.
Good point.
Sometimes it's a recipe, right? Recipes really go viral on Instagram and other platforms right now for Reels. And this is a great opportunity to do something different, break it up outside of real estate content and do something kind of fun. So like, for example, one of the Reels that I made recently was this feta pasta bake. And it's just like taking the world by storm. And only half the time that I go to the grocery store or make an order online can I even find feta anymore, because
that's what people are telling me. Like, it's like sold out. Yeah.
You best believe I got my hands on a block of feta and I made a reel about it, because this was an easy opportunity to swipe and adapt. And so sometimes it's not necessarily just one kind of virality that we want to harness. Spend some time once a week. Set a timer on your phone, first of all. Set a timer on your phone for 20 minutes and just see what you can find on Reels. It's really easy to access that feed. Just spend some time seeing what's out there, see what's catching your eye, and save different Reels that you think are fun or might be cool ideas for you to swipe and adapt into your own content. So that's number one, the viral trend.
Viral trend makes perfect sense. And I never really thought about it that Instagram will pick up on the same music or content or whatever and give it more play because that's what's hot at the moment. So viral trend is number one. Check.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, totally agree. Some things you just might not think about, but makes perfect sense and is actually really simple. The next is the educational series, number 2. So obviously, when we're showing up on social media, the best thing that we can do is position ourselves as an authority in our market. So in my coaching program, I work a lot with real estate agents to understand what solutions that they can actually provide to their ideal clients or their client base. And creating an educational series out of Reels is a really simple way to do that. And here's how I do this in my own strategy. I'm actively producing. I'm with, clients every week. And so if I get asked the same question twice, I'm not talking about like a giant situation. I'm talking about a question. If I get asked the same question twice by 2 different clients, that is my cue to make a piece of content around that. So a lot of times I'm going to actually either... Yeah. Because if they're thinking about it, these are things that other people are thinking about too, who are going to align with my ideal client. And I need to be telling them that I understand their worries and their wants and their needs and their fears. I need to show them that I'm there to guide them through those obstacles. And so those are always a cue for you to create a piece of content when you're getting the same question multiple times. Either create a long form post, or if you want to really put in some equity into your social media plan with Instagram, create a reel out of it. And anybody can provide a very simple solution over 15 to 30 seconds.
I love that. I'm sitting here like a fanboy now, Stephanie. I'm just like, give me more. And I'm taking notes because I haven't made a single reel. I just got back on Instagram for this show 6 weeks ago, growing nicely. Yay. Give me a follow. But I haven't branched out into this. So I feel like I'm in the audience right now with my popcorn. So please continue.
Love it. So here's a really good example for this, right? Like just something that anybody can adopt. Right now in my market, at least here in the Scottsdale area, inventory is absolutely tragic and we're all very upset about it.
Yes.
So one thing that we're working on a lot with our buyers across all price points is how to overcome multiple offer situations, right? That is a really simple way of creating a reel around, I don't know, the 3 ways that you can stand out in a multiple offer situation. And then you just rant off really quickly the 3 tactics. So that's how you would format that. But again, you can follow me on Instagram and you can check out different examples on ways that I've done this and just swipe and adapt, right? Like you can always see what other people are doing around this kind of, this format of content and just make it true to you.
I love that. You've used that term multiple times now, swipe and adapt. I love that, right? You talked about it, what Instagram does it to TikTok. We'll just say TikTok. That's fair, right?
Yeah.
But it's true, right? So if something's working, you swipe it and then you adapt it to your own needs and you're good to go, right? The playbooks are out there. You can borrow them. They're free, right? Use them.
Yeah, just don't forget about the adapt part.
Yes, exactly.
It should still be authentic and in your own voice. Read it back to yourself and be like, is that something I would really say? And that's the litmus test. But then, yeah, just you're good to go. You don't have to recreate the wheel.
Absolutely. Okay, so number 1 is the viral trend. Number 2 is educational series. What is number 3?
Number 3 is everybody's favorite, the Mayoral Campaign. Now, this is really, really simple. Can I just say for a second, not once have I told you to feature your open houses or your listings or like talk about your sales stats and sales volume. Nobody cares. Okay.
That's right.
We're creating valuable content that's going to be applicable to everybody, no matter where they are in the cycle of homeownership. And the Mayoral Campaign is a really great way to kind of tie this in. Another really important aspect of being considered an authority in your market is being the person who knows like where the things to do are, like what's the hot spots, what are the best school districts. Like think about your ideal client and what's important to them. For me, my ideal clients are really focused on school districts. They're really focused on great restaurants and eateries, good coffee, bars, things to do, nightlife, that kind of stuff, shopping, boutiques, local. The Mayoral Campaign is your opportunity to check out these new local hotspots and create a little feature video around them. And I just recently did a podcast on my own show where I was featuring, her name is Andrea Blake. She runs an incredible brand and it's called the Southwest Sampler. And the way that she does this is she's literally created a business out of featuring other local businesses and delivering that content so that people understand like what's so great about the geographical area that they live in.
I love that.
This is something that is like absolutely gold for real estate agents because guess what? You're going to enjoy doing it. Like nobody would be mad about checking out the hottest, newest coffee shop and grabbing a little latte for themselves. Like I couldn't imagine a better form of marketing than creating little video pieces around that kind of thing. But I also love coffee, so maybe that's just me.
No, I'm right there with you.
But it also allows you to create connections and expand your network with other business owners who have their own audiences. So talk about organic reach. Let's say there's a great coffee shop opening up and you want to support them. You want to be that first to bring in this new hotspot to your audience. You tag that coffee shop, they share it to their audience, and you get exposure to new people who maybe have similar interests to your ideal clients but don't already know you yet.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer. You'll have to forgive my passion because I get really excited about this stuff.
Yes.
But opportunities are endless and you don't have to feel salesy spammy around creating like garbage content that nobody wants to see. This is stuff that's actually fun and entertaining and reflects your authentic interests.
I love that. No, never apologize for being too passionate about anything. That's a lesson I learned a long time ago. So
Love it.
I love that. I think that's great. So what did you call that? Be the mayor of your own... Oh, no, the Mayoral Campaign. Is that what you called it?
The Mayoral Campaign, yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of based on an idea from Gary Vaynerchuk, right? He says you should be like the mayor of your city.
Yes.
So call it whatever you want, but really what you're trying to do is just be in the know and display that in an authentic way so that people come to you when they're trying to find like what restaurant for a date night, or where this is really impactful is depending on where you live, chances are you're in a high relocation area. For example, I'm in the Metro Phoenix area. We're getting over 200 people moving here a day. And these are really genuine questions that people have because they want to understand what the new place that they're moving to is going to be like. Like, what is their lifestyle going to look like? And this is your opportunity to frame that for them so that they understand that you know what their interests are, you know what they're all about, and you feel the same way. And it builds that connection and that trust and credibility that removes the sale from any situation. Like you're already hired because people know that you're the right fit.
Absolutely. I love that. Fantastic. Stefanie, this was a very great overview of Reels, but you also made it really actionable, right? In terms of what kind of content to create, viral trends. That's great. What's the term that you used? Not beg, not steal, and adapt. Borrow and adapt?
Swipe and adapt.
Swipe and adapt. Yep,
adapt.
I love that. Educational series, and then the Mayoral Campaign. So now there's no excuses for all of you watching. You have an Instagram account. Post your first reel. Make it happen. tons of ideas here. No reason to, you got to show up, right, Steph? That's what we talked about. Show up.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do it. You got to be consistent. And I would say force yourself, even if you don't like to, even if you don't want to, even if you're afraid, you can do scary things. It's fine. You will not die. Give yourself a due date on when to create your first reel. And depending on when you're listening to this, I'm going to say you should do this within the next 48 hours because it will literally take you 15 minutes to do this. And you can find 15 minutes to do this. And then thereafter, do it once a week forever. And you will find that this creates a really great facet to your social media content that is going to really benefit you in the long run.
I love that. I'm going to one-up that one, Stefanie. I'm going to say do it today. Today. Take massive action and get it done. Don't delay. Stefanie, thank you so much for coming back on the show. Love these conversations. This is really helpful. And I hope we're going to have a chance to talk again real soon.
Yep, I'm ready when you are. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed chatting about this stuff.
Likewise. We'll see you soon. All right, Agentpreneurs, there you have it. Stefanie Lugo back on the show. She's a wealth of knowledge. As you can tell, like I am, we're just super passionate about this stuff, and I love talking to passionate people about whatever they're passionate about, frankly. It doesn't really matter to me. These things are super useful. Today, we're all talking about Reels. No excuses. Make it happen. She's given you great ways to think of content. Really easy to do. Make it happen. Do a Reel today. That's it. So until tomorrow, be safe, be healthy, be happy. Make your Reel. If you create a Reel, you can send a link. I think you can send a link to it. If you can, put it in the comments below, or at the very least say, I commit to making a Reel, or I made my Reel. Let's build some energy here. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.